Hey YouTube. This video is about women's sexuality, basically. And as we all know, in society, a woman's sexuality is a very just engaging topic that society just loves to partake in all the time. Now, when it comes to men, their sexuality isn't really that much talked about. It's not really any rules they have to go by or any stigmas that they have on their sexuality. So that's why I'm mainly focusing on women right now. With women, you know, women always have had the fear of being called a whore, or a slut, or any other derogatory term that could be used to describe a woman who is promiscuous. The word promiscuous in and of itself isn't really negative, but we have given it a negative connotation, if that makes sense. I mean, being promiscuous just means that you sleep with a lot of people, you have a lot of sexual partners. But anyway, how you perceive having a lot of sexual partners, is your own take on it. But anyway, society sees a promiscuous woman as being a whore. And this causes a lot of women to not express their sexuality in the way that they want to. Some women like to have no strings attached sex. And they like to have no strings attached sex with lots of men. Some women like open relationships where they get not only have sex with their boyfriend or husband, but they have sex with other men. And those women sometimes will not be real about their sexuality out of fear of being called a whore, or they may not express themselves as much as they want in the bedroom out of fear of being called a whore, or they may not be honest with a man about wanting sex out of fear of being called a whore. And I understand that society has been doing this to women for a very long time and trying to control and repress their sexuality. Now, on to, more present days, because things have definitely changed. When it comes to women, their society has been a lot more accepting of the woman who has no strings attached sex, of the woman who has multiple sexual partners, of the woman who is very open about her sexuality and what she does in the bedroom, and has no problem telling men what she wants sexually and what she wants in the bedroom. Basically, she has no problem being a freak. And that's great. Now here's the problem. The thing is, now women have two categories that I've seen women put into. A woman's either a whore or a prude. And it's like now there's this whole new movement to, I guess, so called get women to be more free sexually. But most of the people in this movement are men. And most of the time, when I hear these men talk, they're not talking in a way that I think, they're not talking in a way that it seems as though they actually value women's sexuality. They're talking in a way that makes it seem as though the only reason that they want women's sexuality to be free is because they want it to be easier for them to get sex. Not because they value a woman as a person and value her expressing her sexuality and having the freedom to do so without, negative consequences from society. No, they're just doing it because they want to get laid easier. Basically. That's what I've seen. And the only reason I say this is because they don't just accept a woman's sexuality and her choice of expressing it in all manners. No, they don't. They only accept it when it's in the form of her sleeping with lots of men, when it's in the form of her sleeping with men very soon, and when it's in the form of her sleeping with men and not wanting attachment or not having attachment. Those are the only times that they, encourage it and want it. Otherwise, they're condemning them. This is the opposite side. Yes, society condemns women a lot by calling them a whore. Now, society also condemns women by calling them a prude. So if a woman chooses not to have sex with every man she meets, or a lot of men in general, if a woman chooses to be selective in who she wants to sleep with, if she chooses not to run, to tell everybody what she does in the bedroom, she's a prude and will never get a man, will be alone for the rest of her life, and is depriving this helpless man of his sexual needs. I'm sorry, but I see this no different than calling a woman a whore. At the end of the day, they are both calling women a whore or a prude. It's just an attempt to control women's sexuality by name calling and shaming. That's what they're doing. It's like a woman has to either be a prude or a whore. She either has to never want sex and be this frigid ice woman, or she has to be this sex kitten. She can't just be an actual human being who has sex when she wants to, or has sex because she feels like it, or, she has to be either or. And I just don't like it. It's not fair. And what I'm here to say is this. A woman is a person. How she chooses to express her sexuality is her choice. We will always be influenced by society. And no, no one should let society dictate how they express their sexuality. No. But that doesn't go for the women who want to have, who want to be promiscuous. That goes for the women who don't want to be promiscuous. It's okay, to not be promiscuous and to not have sex with men as soon as possible and to be selective in who you sleep with. Just like it's okay to have sex with a lot of men and to, have no strings attached sex and to do all those things as long as you're being protected, of course. But it's okay as long as it's your choice. This is what I support. I support a woman being able to choose her sexuality without society condemning her and trying to shame her with name calling. I am tired of society trying to control a woman's sexuality. I am tired of self-centered men trying to control a woman's sexuality. Because honestly, most of these men who are so-called supporting the free sexuality movement, as I like to call it, are just men who are supporting because they want to get laid easier. They don't have to do any work. So, at the end of the day, women, do what you want to do. It's your body, it's your vagina, it's your sex, it's your sexuality. If you want to let it hang all out in the open, that's you. And if you don't want to hang all out in the open, that's you too, because you can decide to do that. There are so many men out here. This whole, a lot of times people say, well, one woman won't do another. Well, that's true, but not every man wants the same kind of woman. So while some men like promiscuous women, some men don't like promiscuous women. Some men like selective women, some men don't. But how we express our sexuality shouldn't be determined on whether or not men like how we express it. We have to live with this. We have to live with all of our sexual choices. We can't let men, other women, or society influence what we choose to do in the bedroom and how, and who we choose to do it with. That's our decision. So women, express your sexuality how you want to. Just remember to be safe and to always take care of yourself. But express it how you want to. It don't let society or men control you. It's okay if you don't want to have sex. It's okay if you do want to have sex. It's okay if you want to choose, be selective in the men you choose, but it's okay if you don't want to be choosing. It's all about you. It's all up to you. And that is it. Remember, women are not prudes or whores. Women are people with different personalities and wants and needs, and the same applies when it comes to sexuality.